you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Can you briefly describe your background and your role as a student counselor?
So my background, I have a Bachelor of Science degree in psychology, and I have a Master's of Science degree in counselor education. I have got both of my degrees from North Carolina, A&T State University. I have been a counselor now. This is my 16th year, and I've actually been at my current school the whole entire time. Um, and I really do enjoy it, to be honest.
Yes. So, what are the most common academic stress-related concerns students bring to you?
At my school, our biggest thing, we have students that lack a lot of basic needs that a lot of times I think it's an eye opener that we take for granted. Things such as clothing, hygiene products. A lot of times it can be family related stress. We have a lot of custody issues where parents are not together, and so the kids are trying to navigate that. Um, we also have a lot of mental health needs too as well, just from a lot of the stress that's at home. A lot of our students have a lot of anxiety and fear about things, and I feel like some of our kids feel like school is their safe haven. And some kids would even say like they don't like when we're not in school. They would rather be here because I think it's some sense of normalcy for them, I guess you would say it like that. But those are the biggest things that I normally get while I'm here at school.
How does academic stress affect students emotionally and socially?
Um, what we see a lot of times is work avoidance. A lot of them will get in trouble for doing different things that a lot of them know they should be doing, but they're trying to get out of doing work. I've had a lot of kids say they have a lot of fear about answering questions in front of their class because they struggle academically. And then a big thing that we see also, and it comes to us, teachers will call us to kind of do peer mediations because it causes conflict with them and their peers. So, peer making a statement about their answer to a question or how they answered a question. And then it also causes conflict sometimes with the teacher because if they're avoiding the work and their behavior is not, living up to the expectation that the teacher has in the classroom, then the student will get in trouble. So we see a lot of anxiety, a lot of fear. Sometimes we even see anger because they are upset at what took place in the room, and sometimes even upset at themselves because they don't know.
What unique stressors do students from disadvantaged backgrounds face?
The biggest disadvantage, I would say, is the lack of basic need here at my school, I would say, because we try to provide a lot of things here at school so our parents don't have to go different places for food or for clothing. A lot of our parents don't have transportation. So if they can get here or we can at least get to them to give them what they need, then we will try to do that. They also, and I guess because of that, then they're not able to get to the resources that could possibly help them. And so one thing that we've done this year with like our kids transitioning like to middle and high school, we're all kind of working together. Our high school is if you're taking a school bus, to get to the high school and the middle school is 20 minutes from here. A lot of our parents don't go to events there because they're working. We have a lot of parents that work third shift, or like I said, they don't have the means to get there. So the high school and the middle school now have events here at Rankin because a lot of our parents stay in close proximity to our school. So even if they don't have a car, they will walk. And we also are talking about like hosting events in the neighborhood. So, just so they can have the resource. Because I think a lot of times they don't have the resource because of the basic needs not being met. And then a lot of our families and a lot of our parents will honestly come in and they're open enough, and it makes us feel good that they trust us enough to say like they don't know, like they just don't have the knowledge to know. And they've said to myself, the co-counselor and other co-workers, like, I trust you all. Like, I know you all care about my kid, you love my child. So whatever you feel like is best, they want to hear our input. And so that makes you feel good that you can work as a team to support the family as well as the student.
What strategies would you recommend to students to cope with academic stress?
We talk a lot about schedules because I am a person, I have to have things written down because I will forget. So every student has a planner. So sometimes, we actually sit down with their planner. We talk about how to use it. A lot of kids will write down what their teacher tells them to write down in their planner, but the understanding of when you should check it or how often you should look at it and different things like that. We talk about time management. So even after school, because when they get home, most of them are ready for a TV or a nap or a snack or video games. So we talk about how to manage that time so that you can get your homework done, but still have time for yourself. I do a lot of self-care. So I have a list of things that we kind of figure out and identify what they want to try to help them as far as self-care. And what else? On a lot of relaxation techniques. A lot of our kids, we teach about different fidgets. I let them have fidgets that they can take home. Breathing exercises. A lot of kids talk about music a lot. So we talk about how they can listen to music in the appropriate time. And then I guess the biggest thing too with teaching those strategies is I also try to reach out to the parents because our kids are younger. So just to also get approval from the parent that the things that they might have to try at home, that it's okay, because don't want them to get in trouble. And so that the parent is also on board and can try to implement and encourage those things at home.
What advice do you have for parents to support their child's mental
well-being? I guess the biggest thing is being open about the concerns. I feel like with a lot of parents, and I even put myself in their shoes, of course, you don't want anything to be wrong with your child. And I think that's the way they look at it, like something is wrong. But, I tell them if you're honest about what's happening, then we can help, and then hopefully we won't need this later. So I always try to encourage whether they're talking to the pediatrician or the mental health therapist or even the teacher, whoever they're talking to, just being open about what is actually happening so that we can figure out the right plan to support the child. And I try to explain to them, because if they're not open or not being accurate or giving accurate information about what's going on, then they could misdiagnose, and prolong their child getting help. And I also talk to them about finding the right therapist, because I feel like I compare it a lot to trying to find your own primary care doctor. You have to find that doctor that's the right fit. And so I tell them sometimes it can be tiring looking for the right therapist. And just because you come across a therapist that you feel like is not the best fit, don't let that stop you. You still have to keep looking, come back to us. We'll help to try to help find a therapist. And then the last thing that's really big, I try to tell parents to not be judgmental of their child. I know it's hard to be the parent and the child, but listen and be open and, try to empathize with them. And instead of fussing, try to offer strategies and things they can do to help. And if they don't know what to do, then they can always reach out to us.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.